Welcome back to it, the Now Morning Show, your Wednesday Happy Hump Day edition, where we are getting a little lighter as we head over to London, talking about Notting Hill Carnival. Joining me to do so this morning is the CEO, the creator, the director and founder of Limin Mass Band, Sham Mahabir, as he tells us how he plans to continue to fly the flag high all the way in London. Sham, good morning and welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure when we have persons who are, well, saving the culture, so to speak, because, you know, we didn't get to enjoy Carnival the way we'd like to here. So Notting Hill Carnival is something that we can get excited about all over again. Now, before we get into the Carnival, the mass and the beauty that it is, we must talk a little bit about you, because you are a man of food, not necessarily mass. So how did we go from Limin rum and even exporting food to mass? Where is the connection?
I guess the connection is really easy. So we started 3.5 years ago as a pop-up in East London in Old Spitalfields Market, and I guess very quickly gained a following within the Trinidadian community and equally the Caribbean community, and slowly made progress into the wider sort of London scene. We stayed there for 10 months, and during that time we sort of travel the Caribbean to learn to make our own rum, which we've now launched as Limin Rum. We had our own food festival called Jerk and Beyond, showcasing Caribbean food beyond jerk chicken and rice and peas. I launched and currently champion international doubles as a dish with a campaign called International Doubles Day, and that's celebrated on May 30th. Indian Arrival Day in Trinidad and Tobago, and I guess that I did that partly because the dish came from, I guess, our Indian heritage. In addition to that, I started during the pandemic Saga Boy Foods, and that Saga Boy is where we ship food across the country from Brighton in the south to Aberdeen in the north to customers. So that's been predominantly Trinidadian and Caribbean customers, and we're about to open our first 2 locations for that in central London. One doing doubles only. I guess one can argue it's a gentrified, posher version of it, where we have things like shredded curry goat and caramelized pulled chicken, and sort of open fire roasted aubergine. And the other one is going to showcase the true sort of street, not really street food, but the food we all eat at home, the roti and baigan choka and all that kind of stuff. And I guess the reason that we did Limin Mass Band is partly because, but actually it is because we, as a Trinidadian, I have a unique opportunity having a location on the South Bank, which is, and anyone who knows London, the South Bank is, the epicenter of culture and arts in London. It is the most trodden part where tourists walk. So we now showcase our food to thousands of people, especially during sort of the summer months. So we own a beach club, so we have real sand, and we showcase like music, so soca, and I guess the likes. And I guess the reason I wanted to do the mass band is primarily for our customers to now take them to the next step. Now, Carnival is an experience. It is the greatest show on earth, as we say. And for me, it was how do I now show our customers and give them a brand they now trust when it comes to the food, to the drink, to now come and experience not what the media has showed them of Carnival, but now what they've experienced in a small dose of Limin, but now on a bigger scale on the road of Nottinghil Carnival.
Right. And that's going to be quite the unique experience because, yes, the inclusivity of the food and the drink, but then specifically Caribbean food and drink, particularly your brands. It sounds magnificent and yummy already. Beyond
well, we have got fantastic reviews. I mean, I am the chef at a restaurant, but I'm just going to qualify this. I am not a trained chef, but I just happen to grow up cooking in Grandy and coal mine, actually, Marachil. And I guess the flavors I cooked with back then, I still use right now. That's what I remembered. So people will come to the restaurant and they will say, "Oh my God, how is this double so good?" It's like it tasted 30 years ago back home. And I guess when I was learning to make doubles, the flavor I was looking for is what I remembered I had. So when you open that pot, you smell the doubles, Shana, as if you are in Europe somewhere going to buy China doubles.
I love it. For the record, I am a Grandy girl too, so I like the close proximity. You're in Coleman and I would have been in
big up Grandy.
It's a connection. But in that case, it, like I said, sounds yummy. And the flavor that you put into your doubles, you're going to now put into the mass. So let's get into the costuming. Let's get into the band itself, because the portrayal for the next carnival will be First People. And I know that you have actual Trinidadian designers on board with you as well. and also added elements like Sunday Mass and things that will create, again, an enhanced experience. Tell me about that journey and
Absolutely.
process.
When it's our first year, and I guess I'm always of the opinion to move forward, you have to look back. And I guess, many things have been done in Trinidad for Carnival. And, the minute you do something, I guess everyone will say, oh, it's not in Trinidad. So I know that will happen eventually, but I wanted really and truly to actually something that showcase the original peoples of Trinidad and Tobago. So that's not only the Caribbean Arawak, but also the Indians and the Africans. So for the mass band, we partnered with another band in London called GMI. And so together we decided to do this First People's mass band. But I am not a designer. I could just about use a glue gun. So for me, it was a challenge. Now, all my other projects, I am in control of it, right? So I can I can go to the Caribbean, I can understand what making rum. I can ship food, I can cook it, I can vacuum pack it, I can revolutionize all those different things. What I can't do is design and make costumes. So I sort of, did a SWOT analysis of exactly the London sort of carnival scene to recognize what was missing, what they didn't have, and how I can fill that gap. And I guess as a master, having studied marketing, it was sort of the first thing I needed to do. So having done that, I reached out to a friend called Nas Mohammed, who currently designs for Lost Tribe, and he, as a friend, was very supportive of the what I want to do, and so he joined me on the journey. And he also brought on board Christian Milano, who is our second designer, and they both created, I guess, what has been hailed as an incredible costume for us, which we showed on Sunday to Tassa drumming, to live African dancers and drumming. We created a show for a band launch rather than just having people on a catwalk. It was more of a fashion show. There's a big thing in London Carnival where I talk about people wear T-shirts, and we were very keen to not do that because in Trinidad that is not part of Carnival. That's not part of the experience. So someone said no T-shirts allowed, and I quite like that because the whole idea we bring Sunday wear, which is our Trinidad Monday wear, into Carnival here. So it's designed, it's fashionable, it's stylish and reusable. And again on Monday. Sorry, that's on Monday. On the Sunday, we have an all-day juve in London here. So we wanted to introduce a designed section for that. So people who don't want to actually get dirty, and there's some people who don't want to. But just for the record, I am a juve person, right? So I want to get dirty, but on this occasion, I won't be, and we'll be styling the outfits with Sunday wear.
So this underwear is actual reusable clothing that you can use, as in full dresses or tops that women or men can use again. Yes.
Absolutely. So it's a part of the brief was, reusable. So they designed something that actually that can be reused, that can be worn. You can go to a festival, you can go to a party. You can start it out how you want with accessories and all that different stuff. And talking about accessories, that's one of the things we're actually going to be doing. We're going to be making sure that how everybody looks the part for Carnival. Carnival and Trinidad is a fashion show in many ways. And that's what it is, let's face it. And this way, we're going to make sure we really bring that element. It's not just put out a band with some feathers and a backpack. The whole idea is it's a package. We're doing things like a photo shoot for our models. We're doing pictures. So it's an experience. We have in the UK so many people who obviously come to Limin and who would like who are interested in experiences, and yet Nottinghil Carnival has eluded them, or they haven't been able to actually get access to it. But no longer. Our main aim is, of course, our Caribbean community will come and they will enjoy what we're doing. But I really and truly, as I do with everything, want to showcase Carnival and what is at the heart of what's in our DNA essentially to London.
Beautiful. You're going to do exactly that because this experience sounds exceptional. But I want to get a little bit more into the nitty-gritty because you have a team of actual Trinidadians doing your design. And for the most part, that production, that design, that creation process involves a very hands-on approach. So are we talking about designers creating the mass down here and production happening in London, or are we looking at everything being produced in Trinidad, then being shipped? How is it being done?
So I guess that's a really good question, and thank you for raising it. For me, I, having spent a little bit of time with some mass bands in London, I do recognize some of the problems that they actually have coming near to the time when, they have to get friends to come and help them actually make the costume and everything. Now, I am very busy. We have a few different businesses and I haven't got time to project manage it here. But equally, we recognize that how the skill set in Trinidad is quite high. People understand what they're doing, they know what they're doing. So everything will be made in Trinidad. And in our small way, this is actually creating a little bit of employment
Right.
for Trinidadian in an industry that has had a little bit of, that hasn't really been able to showcase the costume for the last 2 years. Although there have been international carnivals happening around the world, so there has been some work, but it's our way of actually, helping a little bit. So everything will be shipped up. It will be done with the same quality and style and finesse that you get with a Trinidad costume.
I love it. The finesse is a key component, so make sure you have that safe. How many other sections are we?
I think everything we do. Even if you look at Limin Beach Club itself, we are on this in the center of town. It's comfortable, it's welcoming, and I think any Trinidadian who's been to it, whether you're a DJ from 95.5 from 95, or you are a Trinidadian who's studying, and that flavor of home you get, with the comfort you get, you can sit here and think you're in Maracas Beach. And when we have Bacon Track, you are actually in Maracas Beach.
I'll hold you to that when I come to London, and I'll be the judge. But for now, tell me more about the band in terms of number of sections, registration, even designers, because we've named two from Trinidad, but is it that we only have two designers on board designing all the costumes?
So basically, as we decided to have this launch before Carnival was actually announced, as the Nottinghil Carnival was announced to actually go ahead. And so with that in mind, it being our first year, we decided to actually, I will only have one section. However, the ethos of what we want to do here, the strapline of Limin Mass Band is the evolution of mass. And with that, I plan, or our intention is to showcase, and I guess from 2023 onwards, three different sections: the past, the present, and the future. So we will have a theme, and each one of those themes will be designed by one designer, and so we'll have the designers design it. And it is our intention to also have a different designer design the king and the queen for each of those sections. So we're going to bring that back to London Carnival to an extent it's been missing as such. So just to recoup, it'll be three different sections. This year we have one, but going forward there'll be three sections where we actually have people in a individual front line and back line.
All right, I like the plans for expansion already. Tell me about the launch though, because one thing that you described that stood out is that it was beyond just costumes on a catwalk. There was a production, there was a presentation. So tell me a little bit about that plan, well, the executed one, and what will happen when you have your three sections, kings, queens, front line and back line then.
Yep. Well, so this one was a dream. I mean, it was my first time doing it, and Giselle, who is from GMI, she is well respected within the carnival industry in the UK. She really sort of showcased Trinidad, so kids carnival. Also, she had a band last year for the first time. So she's quite new also. So equally in many ways learning, but also a singer. So when we had the theme, we wanted to actually really get as much culture as we can from Trinidad to showcase on the stage. So we initially had planned to have the launch at Limin because in case Carnival didn't go ahead, we could then actually have the people party at Limin. But when it started to pick up the atmosphere and the vibe, people wanted to come and Carnival was announced. People had to get quite excited. I guess in many ways partly because the things we have done, everything we have done as Limin as a band, has always been fairly successful, actually quite successful. So I think people was excited by it. So, for a band launch in London, normally you get about 40 people for a typical band launch. I mean, we're a small band, we're not a big band yet. And so we changed venue quite last minute, and we got a Tassa, we got the Tassa boys who play normally, who we know quite well because they play at international numbers there. We got the African drummers, we got dancers, so it was easy to get because of access to them. And we Giselle put together the presentation very, very quickly. But like I said, to going forward is how we can actually show things like stick fighting, how we can show fire blowing, and all these different elements to our culture that actually is not shown. This is more it's a production with a fashion show with an after party, if that kind of makes sense.
It makes absolute sense.
Yes.
Absolute sense. Sounds just like home. Sham, you're doing an excellent job, especially for a first time of having a band, of doing a launch, a first endeavor. I am excited and I'm ready to head to South Bank next week for all we know.
And look, you're more than welcome, eh?
For now, though, granted that we still need to register, we still need to wait and see a little bit more of what will happen for the actual carnival itself. How do we find Limin Mass Band online or digitally generally?
Well, so we chose a handle called My Mass Band because as much as I am the owner and I guess the experience director, it is your band. So the whole idea is My Mass Band is quick, it's easy. So on it, the website is mymassband.com. On Facebook and Instagram, it's My Mass Band is the handle. So it's very straightforward, very easy, very memorable, and the website should go live with costumes on Friday. Mm-hmm. We're quite excited by that. The social media the day after went crazy. I spent literally the whole day replying to messages. People wanted to come join us, how to join, and it's an exciting time for us. And but more so, I look forward to the campaign we're actually going to have, the really online campaign to show what Carnival is like and show the launch. People actually start to get excited outside of the community who already know what we can do.
Beautiful. Sham Mahabir, the director and founder of Limin Mass Band, joining us this morning to get us excited about Notting Hill Carnival as they get ready to showcase the culture in every facet possible from what you've described. I wish you continued success because in any event, your endeavors tend to be successful. This one will be no different. And it continues to fly the red, white and black, the Caribbean flags and culture very high in London. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Sham.
Thank you for having me, and I look forward to welcoming you and our fellow listeners in Trinidadians to Limin Beach Club. And come join us on the road. You have no carnival this year.
Don't worry, we Limin soon. See what I did there?
I look forward to it.
Thanks again for joining us. And thanks again for reigniting that excitement about Carnival. Because let's not pretend. Whether or not we had one, we do have one. There's one abroad, there's not. Must have a Trini in it like salt, and it's going to be great. So the Now Morning Show Wednesday edition continues. With me, Inko Will, Kimberly D'Souza, and rock us with some music. Hey!